So today I'm going to do a little bit of a different video. I'm going to talk about 5 things you can do to support someone that you love when they're going through a miscarriage. The first thing, the very first thing that you can do to support someone who's going through a miscarriage is to do what you say. So if you offer something, if you say, oh, let me know if there's anything I can do, or something like that, follow through. I had an experience where someone had offered, they said, oh, let me know if you need anything, and I did, and then they didn't follow through, and that was really difficult because it's really hard to ask for help. I mean, it's hard to ask for help in any situation, so you can imagine you're very vulnerable in that time, and, reaching out to ask for help was difficult in itself, and then to have them go, well, I'm too busy, was really hard. And it wasn't like I was asking for the world. They had offered to go out for coffee, and I took them up on that. I needed to get out of the house, and they're like, oh, I'm busy. And I just thought, you're busy all weekend? Okay. So, if you offer something, make sure you follow through. The second thing is to offer concrete things. Saying, if there's anything you need, just ask, is really nice, but it's difficult, especially when you're in a situation like that, to reach out and ask, and sometimes you don't even know exactly what you need. So it's better to offer something like, hey, I'm running to the store, can I pick you up something? Especially if you're going through a miscarriage, you're stuck at home often. So maybe if you run out of milk or bread, it's like, I don't really want to run to the grocery store to pick up milk and bread right now. Or something like, hey, I'm running out for coffee, would you want to come? Or I can bring something to you. Something that's concrete so that the person who you love, who's going through the hard time, doesn't have to ask for something or think of something. You offer them something concrete. The third thing is actually one of the lovely ladies on Instagram. She actually inspired this video. She had mentioned how she was trying to find ways to support a loved one, and she came up with a gift basket. And I think that's a really great idea, so I thought I would put it in here. So if you're trying to think of a way to support someone you love who's going through a miscarriage, or really any situation, I think a gift basket can be great. I use a little bit of caution there, though. Make sure you know the person. For example, if someone's really sensitive to scent, you don't want to get them a bunch of smelly candles and lotions. But I think it would have been nice, especially if it's accompanied by like a really nice card, or if you can stop by briefly, don't overstay your welcome, of course, but stop by and give them a hug and show them that you're thinking of them. But a little basket with like a candle and a blanket and a movie, something like that, or even just something small like a little thing of chocolates and like fun coffee. That would be great. It's little things that just make that person feel kind of special, and especially in that time as a woman, your bodies kind of get put through the ringer, so it feels good to sort of pamper yourself. So I think that would be a great gift, or a great thing to do to support someone you love as well. The fourth thing that you can do to support someone you love through a miscarriage is to listen. And I think that that's really, really difficult, especially in a situation where we're uncomfortable. We don't like to sit in silence. But sometimes I think that that's the best thing, especially with something like a miscarriage where unless you've gone through it, and even if you have gone through it, your situation might have been very different than theirs, just listening can be great. I had a lot of unsolicited advice. I had a lot of kind of canned little, oh, you'll be fine, and it made me feel like I couldn't tell them what was really going on because they sort of had already decided what was going on. So then I didn't really feel comfortable sharing. And in a lot of times it was really the people who just kind of asked an open-ended question like, let me know how you're doing, or tell me like about this, what's going on, or even the people who didn't ask anything, who just gave me a hug and let me say what I wanted to. That was really the best thing, was just having them to listen. The last thing, the fifth thing that you can do to support someone through a miscarriage is really the easiest. And it's frankly the most important. And that's just to be there. And it's not always possible for you to physically be with them. And sometimes they might not want you to. I'm kind of an introvert in my personal life, and so I didn't really want people necessarily in my house with me. But I had two people, other than my husband, who made sure that their presence was known in my life for that first week and beyond. And it was as simple as one person sent me an email every day, and it was just, thinking of you, love you, XOXO. That was it. But it opened that line of communication, which was also really important, because if I thought of something I needed, I knew that they had already started the conversation, so I didn't have to be the first one to say something. And it was just nice to know that they were thinking of me. Because you might be thinking of this person, but if you don't actually say it, they have no idea. The other person sent me daily text messages, which was also great. And none of them were like something I had to respond to, but I could. So on the days when I was feeling like I needed someone to talk to, they would text me and I could just say, yeah, today's a little bit rough. I would like to chat today. Or today's a little rough. And she could respond with, do you want to talk about it? And it just opened that line of communication so I didn't have to do that. And of course, if you can physically give someone a hug, I think that's always great. But of course, know the person too. Like if it's someone who hates to be touched, maybe not a good idea to hug them without being asked, but you never know. Those are my 5 ways that you can support someone you love through a miscarriage. And of course, the biggest thing is just with your love. And whether that means you're showing them through a text message or a gift basket, or dropping off a casserole. If you live in Minnesota, that's what we do, is we drop off casseroles. Whatever it is, just show them you love them. And that's all you can really do.